wondered, am I normal? A question that many men carry around in their hearts for decades, but rarely dare to ask. The truth is, what you see in movies, hear in locker rooms, or read on social media is often an illusion, not reality. And science has a much clearer answer. If you know how to measure properly, you'll find yourself completely normal, even healthier than you thought. And that can instantly replace anxiety with confidence. Hi, I'm Nicole from Intimacy Science. In today's video, we'll separate fact from myth, biology from fantasy to answer the classic question. What's the average penis size? And more importantly, how to measure properly to get the most accurate view. Let's be honest, you probably wouldn't say it out loud, not at the gym, not at work, not even with your closest friend. But the question has been sitting quietly in the back of your mind for years, maybe decades. Am I normal? And today we're going to talk about one of the most common questions in men's health yet. One of the least spoken: penis size. We'll separate myth from science, fantasy from biology, and insecurity from truth, because millions of men silently carry doubts that were never theirs to begin with. You see, penis size is not just a curiosity. For many men, it becomes a private source of anxiety. It undercuts confidence, impacts intimacy, and quietly chips away at self-worth. But here's where the science comes in, and it might surprise you. According to a global study of over 15,000 men, published in the British Journal of Urology International, more than 90% of men fall within a completely normal range. So why do so many men still feel? Imagine you're 13 or 14. You stumble across your first adult video, not realizing what you're seeing is performance, not biology. The man on screen wasn't chosen at random. He was cast for size, camera angles, and shock value, digitally enhanced, lit, and edited for impact. But that image becomes your reference point, and it sticks. Now add in locker room talk, the bragging, the crude comparisons, bravado, crude comparisons, and suddenly a completely average body begins to feel like it's not enough. Studies show that up to 60% of men feel some level of dissatisfaction with their size, even though over 95% fall within the medically normal range. And when women are surveyed, only 5 to 10% say size is very important in a partner. So where does the obsession come from? Because no one ever told you the truth. Not in school, not in health class, and certainly not online. Instead, we were handed myths, false comparisons, and silence. So let's change that. What is the actual average penis size? And just as important, how do you measure it correctly? Here's the surprising twist. Most men measure themselves wrong. Think of it like using a broken scale. No matter how many times you check, you'll never get the truth. Some press the tape too far forward. Some start at the skin instead of the pubic bone. Some measure it from underneath, adding signs that don't reflect real anatomy. Others don't measure at full erection or stretching correctly, or compare themselves when cold, anxious, or barely aroused. In medical research, we use a method called the flaccid stretched length, and it's remarkably accurate. Here's exactly how you can do it at home. Stand upright, use a ruler or soft measuring tape. Place it on top of the penis. Starting at the pubic bone, pressing gently into the fat pad for accuracy. While flaccid, gently stretch the penis forward to its full natural length. That's your flaccid stretched length, and it closely reflects your true erect length. For girth, also called circumference, use a soft measuring tape or a piece of string. Wrap it around the thickest part of the shaft. Mark where it overlaps. Then measure that length. Now that you know how to measure correctly, here's what the real data says. A landmark study from 2015, the largest of its kind, analyzed nearly 15,000 men across the globe. The average erect length was 13.2, just over 5 in. The average erect girth was 11.5 centimeters, about 4.5 in around, not 8 in, not 10, not what you saw in that film, just over 5 in long. And that's the global average. Even more important, 90 to 95% of men fall between 10 and 16 centimeters. That's 4 to 6.3 in. If you're anywhere in that range, you are not below average. You are not lacking. You are, by every medical and scientific standard, completely normal. Now what about the extremes? At one end, we have the medical definition of a micropenis less than 7.5 centimeters, or about 3 in when stretched or erect. At the other end is the macropenis, anything over 24 centimeters or 9.5 inches. Extremely rare genetic outliers, not benchmarks for masculinity. not goals to chase. And yet most men don't fall outside the average range. They just think they do because perception isn't reality. Not when you're comparing yourself to fantasy. Adult film actors aren't average men. They're selected for one exaggerated feature. And even then, the illusion is enhanced with camera angles, stage lighting, silicone prosthetics, and in some cases, digital enlargement. A 2016 investigation by Men's Health magazine found that some adult scenes are edited after filming to extend size digitally. It's not just exaggerated, it's engineered. But your brain doesn't see the edits. It just sees bigger. And somewhere deep down, you start believing that you are smaller. Even worse, many men compare themselves flaccid in a mirror in a cold room or under stress. The penis is incredibly responsive to temperature, anxiety, and blood flow. A chill or a moment of tension can shrink it by half. Compare that to someone fully aroused in professional lighting with digital enhancement, and the comparison becomes absurd. But that absurdity turns into insecurity, insecurity into anxiety, and anxiety spreads into relationships, confidence, and self-esteem. And yet none of it is rooted in biology. It's not science, it's distortion. A study from UCLA's Department of Urology found that most men seeking enhancement already had normal size, and after surgery, 40% remained dissatisfied. Many of these procedures carry serious risks, especially when not medically necessary, and beyond a certain point, around 6 and 12. In more size does not mean more satisfaction. In fact, it can lead to discomfort for a partner. So what actually works? Let's talk about the real tools that improve how you look, feel, and perform. Tool number 1, reduce fat around the pubic area. As abdominal fat builds, the penis appears shorter, not because it shrinks, but because it retreats into the fat pad. Studies show that losing just 2 in off your waist can add up to 1 in 12 centimeters in visible length. Tool number 2, improve blood flow. Your penis is a vascular organ, not a muscle. More blood means more fullness. Eat nitrate-rich foods like beets, spinach, and arugula. Add L-citrulline or l'arginine safely under medical guidance. Stay hydrated, quit smoking. And yes, do pelvic floor exercises. Cool are not just for women. They strengthen the muscles that control blood flow, rigidity, and control. Tool number 3, check your hormones. Testosterone is your biological fuel. It affects mood, libido, circulation. That can change how your body performs and how it looks. Ask your doctor for a full hormone panel. Test total testosterone-free testosterone, SHBG, and estradiol. And if you're low, start with natural steps. Better sleep, heavy lifting, more zinc, less alcohol. And if needed, explore medically supervised options. Tool number 4, stop comparing, start connecting. You are not a number. Not a measurement, not a ruler on a screen. What satisfies a partner is not length. It's connection, confidence, and presence. Tool number 5, seek real guidance. If you're thinking about enhancement pause, ask yourself honestly, am I doing this because something's broken or because I was never taught the truth? If the answer is emotional, talk to a therapist, not a clinic. Because body dysmorphia is real and the damage from acting on it without healing the root can be permanent. The truth is, you might already have what you've been chasing all along normally. The majority of men are well within the normal range, and that's not a consolation prize. That's reality. So what's the real takeaway? You are not your measurement. You are your mindset. And the power lies not in changing your body, but in understanding it, respecting it, and optimizing it. When you stop obsessing over size, you can finally focus on health. And when you do that, everything improves. Your performance, your confidence, your relationships. So ask yourself, what's more powerful, being above average on a ruler or being in control of your body, your mind, and your life? You already know the answer. Now do one more thing. Leave a question in the comments. We answer them anonymously. Subscribe if you want more truth and less noise. And if this helped you, share it. Because you never know which friend is carrying the same question in silence. You were never too small. You were just never told the truth. If this video gave you some peace of mind or maybe even boosted your confidence, hit that like button so more men can hear this truth. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more real science-backed conversations about men's health and confidence. And always remember, your worth has never been defined by numbers. It's defined by your mindset, your health, and the way you show up in life. Stay strong, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next video.